All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the line, he is from Germany. His name, Mario Adrion. Did I get it?
You got it. I mean, it's a French last name. If you want to sound French and fancy, you can say Adrion. But I don't want you to have a stroke or something as an American. So, Adrian is fine.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's probably the only time I'm going to get it right. I'm not even going to take a chance at your hometown. Mario, I got to start off by asking, of course, Mario, comedian, former male model, just a great YouTube channel. I was watching an interview with you. You're meaning to tell me all of this stuff started when you got a message from someone over the internet, flew to Harlem to someone's house that you didn't know, and practiced modeling in their living room.
Exactly right. Yep, that's what happened. That's what you gotta say yes in life sometimes. I ignored all red flags, and this guy on Facebook reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, gorgeous, you should come to New York and be a model. P.S. You can stay with me in my place in Harlem." And growing up in Germany, like I didn't know what Harlem was. I thought Harlem, that sounds so exotic, So I went there. And it all worked out. It was weird, but it worked out, yeah.
All right, so when you initially got this message, who did you tell and what did they say?
All right, so I told my mom about it. And you got to know my mom is German moms are a little different. They're a little more, how can I say this? A little more direct,
Okay.
So I told my mom, I was like, Mata, yeah, I think I would be a model. And my mom just looked at me and she goes, no joke, I'll never forget this. She looks at me and she goes, modeling you? I think your cousin Hans is a lot more pretty than you. So my mom did not believe in me, which I didn't even want to be a model. I was a German engineer, But I was like, at that point, I was like, I'm going to prove my mom wrong. And I flew to New York with all the motivation of like showing my mom that I have what it takes to be a model. And
Now looking back at it, I mean, you've done the modeling thing, you've done the YouTube thing. You're now going to be on tour with the comedy thing. What does she say now? Or, excuse me, is she still around?
She's still around, yeah.
Okay, okay. I started asking, I'm like, oh, God, am I asking about,
No, you're good.
What is she now?
She's great. I mean, I sent her some of my comedy clips. A lot of my comedy clips are about her. Which she doesn't know how she feels about that. The thing is, she doesn't speak English that well, so she doesn't really get it. But she's very, she's supportive. She always likes it. It's nice for her to see that, I'm representing Germany and showing people that Germans are more than just like engineers and emotionless robots. We're also having a sense of humor sometimes.
Mario Adrion on the line with me talking about, how all this started and going to be going on a comedy tour. Is this your first tour?
Well, this is my first full national comedy tour. I've done some shows before in like different cities, like, mainly LA, New York, one in San Diego. But this is the first time I'm doing like 18 cities in the U.S. all over, which I'm very excited for.
As you get ready for this, what are you thinking? Like, is it exciting? Is there a little bit of trepidation? Is it?
No, it's just pure excitement. Because I love seeing different states in America. Because, it's so funny. Like, when I grew up in Germany, I have this image of America of, like, cowboys and chicken wings and like, all this stuff that we see in the movies. And then I came to L.A., and I've been in L.A., New York, and it's all kale juices and wheatgrass and lip fillers. It's such a different world. So I kind of want to see other parts of America that are more, different from like the big cities. So, and I want to go to diners. I always tell people diners are my favorite thing in the world because we grew up watching these movies like Grease, where you fall in love with a cheerleader at a diner and you have a milkshake, and I want that. That's like, I think I look at diners kind of like how you guys look at castles in Europe.
Okay,
you're like, oh my God, such a beautiful castle, and I go to Denny's, I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. The booth. So cool. I love diners. So yeah.
Don't be afraid to stop at truck stops and have a meal there. Yeah, like a Pilot or there's a couple of. There used to be one here that I really liked, but it ended up closing down. But yeah, diners and all that kind of stuff. If you can find the small town version of that, you're going to be in heaven. So
truck stop in Iowa, I'll be there.
Mario Adrion is on the line with me right now. All right, so comedy tour's coming up. What are you most looking forward to it? Let me change that. How are you approaching this comedy-wise? Like, what are the jokes? Are they things you've used before? Is it stuff you're trying out? What's kind of the plan here?
Yeah, so it's like a mix. In the 1 hour, it's like a mix between, my perspective on America as a European. So often I make fun of America, too. Like, when I went to Texas, I made fun of, like, the American pride there and, like, the guns and all that stuff. So it's a lot of that. perspective, because it's so different. Like when you go to Texas,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I saw these big American flags
Yeah.
everywhere, and I noticed you would never see that in Germany, because we don't have national pride, because we used to have a little bit too much of that um, 80 years ago. So it's such a different world, and so it's a lot of that. My perspective on American politics, stuff like that, and then also my story as a model. So it's a bit of both. It's modeling stories, crazy things like I've experienced modeling in LA, New York, quite vulnerable too. And I want to break the stereotype of like men not being able to be vulnerable. So it's a good mix of those things. Yeah.
Well, it's such an interesting journey. I mean, I know I kind of started out the interview with the joke part of it of, going to this random guy's house to, do male modeling, but you don't see that often as the start of the story and have it work out,
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And also a lot of things didn't work out in modeling. There's definitely a lot of, a lot of dark sides in modeling, a lot of sexual harassment. Because, photographers have so much power over you,
Yeah.
and you're like a young model from Alpirsbach im Hochschwarzwald, Germany, and you go to New York City, which is like, my hometown is like 800 people. So a lot of people want to take advantage of you, so you just got to be careful of that. Essentially, that's also why I quit modeling, because there's a lot of negative sides to the industry. Not very stable as a career. Because,
Yeah.
one month you make a lot of money, you land a big job, but then you might not book any jobs for 2 months. So then you are, you're worried, and it's not very stable. So that's why I started making YouTube videos early on in my career, just to get some more of that like stability and a job where I'm in control. Yeah.
I like how you use YouTube as stability.
I mean, compared to modeling, it is. It's not a 9 to 5. It's not like a.
No, I get it. But I mean, that's such a leap of. Did you know that's what you were going to do after you're getting out of modeling? Like that, I'm going to take a shot at this. Had you already started it?
You know what? Yeah, I did YouTube first because I wanted to just collect memories as a model.
Okay.
Like, I didn't know how long the modeling thing was gonna last, so I made a video. It's basically like a travel vlog. It's called "What Really Happens at New York Fashion Week," and I made that video just so I can show it to my grandkids when I get older.
Yeah.
I wanted to show them, oh, this is when Grandpa Mario was a model in New York. And I put it on YouTube and it blew up. Like, people really liked it. They liked the silliness, the humor, the modeling angle. I made this video with no intention of ever making this into a career. I made the video with the intention of having a memory. And it was very pure, and then it grew into something. And early on, I realized that, this could be a career, because I really was just fulfilled telling stories, being silly. Just modeling would have been too one-dimensional for me, but I got to model and at the same time make these, like, I made some mini mockumentaries about modeling. And it was good. It was like a Zoolander type YouTube channel for a bit, so that was good.
I am doing my absolute best to not make Zoolander jokes. I am telling you this right now.
Hey, it's all good. That's literally my life. It's the most accurate depiction of my life.
But,
so please go ahead, yeah.
But I kind of feel like it's the thing in radio when it's like, oh, you got a face for radio. You know that joke?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the Zoolander thing would be that for male models. Mario Adrion on the line with me right now. We'll have links to website, YouTube channel, tour, and all this. So how did you make the transition to comedy? What was I mean, you started out when a guy called you. Now is it, hey, I think I want to take a shot at this? Did someone tell you they thought you were funny? What was that transition like?
Yeah, it's a good question. I just wanted to prove to people that models can be more than just ridiculously good looking. I like breaking these expectations.
Dude, I'm trying to be respectful here.
It's all good.
I just figure everybody makes that joke to you, right?
Sure, absolutely.
I'm trying to be the one guy who doesn't, and here you are throwing it in my face.
Yeah, I mean, you just said it, so I had to, But yeah, most people think models are just like not funny, not intelligent, they're very arrogant and vain, which is true for the most part, actually. But then also I wanted to, I was always more silly, and connecting with the crowd. I took improv, and I noticed that connecting with the crowd, even when it's like 10 people in some small class show I did here in LA, it's more impactful than having a video that gets like 100,000 views or whatever, because it's real people and real human connection. So that's when I started stand-up. I was drawn to that.
Mario Adrion on the line with me. What's the tour going to be called?
It's called the German Efficiency Tour.
Of course it is.
The slogan is, we're doing 50 states in 1 week.
Oh, wow. When's that going to take you through? Probably end of the year, next year?
Until we have dates until the fall right now. I think last day is going to be Chicago in the fall. which is awesome. You know, I proposed to my wife a year ago in Chicago.
She say yes?
She did say yes. Yeah,
congratulations.
She's my wife. Yeah, yeah. It worked out. Yeah, I'm excited. It's all over the U.S.
Let me ask you this. I mean,
yeah.
When my wife and I got married, she had to kind of acclimate to, you know, me living kind of a weird life and schedule and, you know.
Sure.
But, I mean, yours is so light years ahead of that. How does your wife deal with all this stuff?
I mean, we met when I was already like traveling a lot, and I was traveling before for modeling. Now I'm traveling for stand-up, so it's not really different. Also, I think in a relationship, it's also nice having a little bit of space sometimes. It's always nice when I can miss her and leave for a week. In 2 days, I'm leaving to start my tour, and I'll be gone for like 2 weeks, and then I'll come back, and we'll, you know, have a lot of stories to tell each other. And she's also very busy. She is a fashion stylist here in LA, so she is working all the time, and I barely see her. Sometimes it's like, you know, I'm complaining because I don't see her enough, you know. So we're both very independent, very busy. So it's a good balance.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so with the tour coming up and all that, what's kind of next for you? I mean, is it just comedy right now, or are there other big plans coming, or what's up?
Mainly comedy right now. People always ask me about like television. I've done some TV stuff on American Idol and other TV shows. But truly, to me, if that happens, it's cool. But I'm purely locked in on comedy. It's a beautiful thing right now with social media, where I'm, you know, in control. If I have an audience, people come to see me. I don't need anybody else, and that's beautiful. I like this autonomy. It kind of democratized stand-up, you know, having YouTube and social media.
Yeah.
So I'm just focusing on that. I'm focusing on like building my community on YouTube, my podcast, and just having fun, man. You know, traveling, going to diners all over the U.S., go to truck stops. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
What I actually pictured in my head was a memoir. I don't know why, but I was something about the world of, you know, male modeling or something.
Yeah. I should maybe do that. Like you're right. Yeah, like another Zoolander, but like more serious.
Oh, come on! I was not saying that, but yes, it would be hilarious.
The struggle of being ridiculously good looking, you know?
That'd be a great title.
Is real. Yeah. The struggle of being hot.
And you have
relatable, very relatable.
Mario Adrion on the line with me right now. I know you got to get going. You got a lot going on. Mario, thank you so much for the time. Good luck to you. It was great talking to you, man. I really am pulling for you.
Appreciate you. Thanks so much. And hopefully see you soon in Iowa.